disclaimer. Drip is a life changer. Now all I do is chill and write bangers. Morph into the green like the White Ranger. Taking my block to the top just like Jenga. Danger, step on up and get roasted. I'm just trying to make some change like Drip Coach did. Posted like daily, put you under hypnosis. Fuck around with another damn and get ghosted. It's hopeless. We so bullish like Mike Jordan. All the fun fading away is quite enormous. Building a bridge, kinda like a chorus for those missing in action like Chuck Norris. Run for us, run away, don't come back. We stick together, on point like thumbtacks. Grab the Iron Man, they gone from one snap. Going hard for the network, that's a fun fact. Danger, step on up and get roasted.
Yo, what's up out there? Thursday over on the other side, and Friday morning here in the Kingdom of Wonder. What up, Bebo? Wanna be alt? Thanks for popping in. What do we got? Can you hear me? How's everything going? Anything change? What's in the wonderful world of the drip ecosystem? What did I miss? Probably not much of nothing, because as we've seen, drip is being left to the community. Supposedly, the jury's still out on that one, but I would love for that to actually be 100% true. So we officially have no value now on the native decks. Okay, there we go. Still at a penny and some change. Penny for your thoughts. That is what it feels like right now. Let me pull this chat out of here so I can actually see what you guys are saying. How's the levels? Am I breaking up yet? My poor little laptop on its last leg. Mighty Mofo. Shouts out to Mighty Mofo. What's up? You good? Forex, Blabbing, and BC. Yeah. That's keep forgetting that's the morning. Thursday morning, but from at least the pulse that I have on you guys that are tapped into my content, not many people actually care about the VCs anymore. They don't carry the weight they used to. And on top of that, not many seem to care about the animal farm. If I had capital, like if I was actually sitting flush with cheddar, like some of the big rats that got their slice, and when drip launched, then yeah, I'd be sitting on the farm parking my blue chips as well. But yeah, that is not the case. What up, Michael Jones? Sounded clear. Appreciate that. Less than 200 in it. Yeah, I can imagine. I'm interested to see though. I personally believe B3 will be lackluster. It's nothing revolutionary like he makes it seem. Okay, great. He's got range optimization for staking capital. I mean, that may be new, but degen yields on a farm is nothing new. So at the end of the day, farms do what farms do. And anybody can make a farm with degen yields, especially when you print the native token. So I don't really see this as being something that's going to automatically kickstart the animal farm, because that was the same information we were fed for V2. It's revolutionary, a 2-token system, and governance and all this stuff. So we all know the playbook for Forex for it by now. Outside investors may not know, but they're not coming because they're going to look at those token charts and be like, wait, who are you, bro? Yeah. It's like, okay, you had these other assets and they're all down. Yeah, I'm not sure right now in the bear market, because that's the thing, right? So everybody says we're in a bear market and nothing's moving right now. So why would you, Mr. Millionaire, multimillionaire crypto person who's learned their lessons, made millions, why would you come over to a new territory with your staked capital to risk it for a 90% taxed native asset, and then for a governance token that is paying out, oh Jesus Christ, what is it right now? Like, it's less than drip. I know that. Let's look at that in real time. So those two variables would cause whoever's got capital on Ape Swap, Buy Swap, Stargate, anywhere, they just wouldn't come over. So, and rightfully so. So I don't know what's going to fix this. Actually, I know what would have fixed it. If he would have focused on drip sooner and made people in drip rich, then he'd have capital on the farm. But now the capital he's had has been running away. And as he said out of his own words, once it leaves the system, it doesn't come back. So let's see, we got 29,377 times 0.03. That's how much goes out per day. A whopping $881 divided by the 356,644 pigs in the pig pen. You're getting 0.002 pigs per day. So let's see, even Forex at his 5,000 pigs in one wallet or one contract, it's actually 30,000, but he's got 5,000 split up. He's getting $12. And across all of his stuff, he's got 30,000. So, oops, that's not what I meant to do. You know what I meant? It meant to be the $12 times 6. So $72. That's not bad, for someone who's just parking capital there. 72 times 36, still getting $2,160 a day, a month, sorry. But there's nothing to fix this. He thinks that suddenly the new tokenomics, basically, of the lending on there, not lending, but range optimization, is just going to bring capital in, and people are going to park and print. Well, I'm not holding my breath. I've seen this movie before. I know how it ends. All right, let me see what we got in the chats. Just already brought that up. Let's see. Shouts out to Reginald White in the building. Tofu Cat, what's up? And Papa Nugs, good to see you. What did you guys all have to say? Who will trust Forex and his team after abandoning drip? History will repeat itself. Yeah, I am interested, Tofu Cat, to see how this plays out. There is definitely a mix of people. And as I mentioned to you guys before, there is still some trust with Forex, because it seems as though anyone that made money is blindly allegiant to him. And we can see that in the REAP token. So I think my personal opinion is, yes, he's smart. Yes, he has new game theory. He is not a dev in the sense of like what BB is. He can read code and apparently, can trade. He does have posted screenshots of trades in the Discord. So there is the history of that. But multi-deca millionaire, I don't know any of that. But we'll just assume that he can do all of that. So with that, there is a level of trust some people will just blindly stick with. I can't get REAP on this one. And because of that, there's going to be people in the space that aren't going anywhere. So, but there are definitely a lot more that are jaded and upset, and their voices, I think, will resonate. So, as they say in marketing, bad press moves faster or carries more weight. So $13 for a REAP token. So that did drop some, didn't it? I could have swore last I looked at it, was holding like in the 30s. I haven't looked at this in a while. But reference what Tofu Cat said, who will trust? Oh, yeah. Wow. So this is live. We're seeing this. This I did not know about. So there's been some dumping of the REAP token as of recently. So this does, in my opinion, this is the best place to reflect trust in the charts or in the Forex ecosystem. Oh, this is only 24 hour. I'm sorry. Let's no, that's right. 24 hour. Let's go zoom out here. So there's been some interesting, I have not looked into this. This interesting behavior, these big wicks. And then this is just the probably the reflections on the taxes. Right now my computer's running really slow. Hope it doesn't freeze up on you guys. But this is very telling, to say the least. These big sells coming in and no buys. Dex Tools does not work the same way as Dex Screener. I want to just get this to zoom in, and it doesn't want to. I'm on 15 minutes. I knew I was wrong. There we go. Not used to using Dex Tools. I always go to Dex Screener. Okay, there we go. That's a chart I was looking for. That's easier to see. But this is definitely interesting right here. Holy hell, I had not looked at this. So this does say something is happening. So reference what you said, Tofu. Yeah, who will trust? This is now a very good question, because I remember looking at it back here, I think, and maybe this was when Christo Mischief got in. Remember, he had finally got in. He had one of these candles, or was accumulating. I don't know, whatever. But it's still up. Don't get me wrong. It's still way up from what it was before. But the fact that it was, I remember trading around the 20s to 30s for quite some time. And these people now are $13. It's around the price of REAP. REAP is $9. We just BREAP is around $9. So this does echo some sentiment shift. I was not aware of this. This will definitely be in my asset update video, but it's still way up from the launch price. So don't get that twisted. Some people are still in extreme profit. But we could also look at the holders and see how many, because I remember I looked at that and it was like over 100 or so that had the necessary. Wonder if the holders have left. So you're seeing real-time super sleuth detective work. Let's see here. So you need, what was the magic number? 100 BREAP? 1,000 BREAP? What is it? Anybody let me know? Because if it's 1,000, then the REAP DAO is, I thought it was 1,000, wasn't it? Or 10,000 BREAP, I thought. This can't be right. This cannot be right. That this many people don't hold that number. I got to go back to my old video. This will be something I have to do later with you guys. Sorry, I'm sitting here now. I'm awestruck and I want to know. But yeah, let me get back to the chats. Let me see. All right. So that was all you, Tofu. You sent me on this rat race. Reginald White. So how high do you think the TVL Animal Farm will go? So as I mentioned before multiple times, I believe the TVL and Animal Farm will trade sideways in this 20 mil, and we might see a double at most. We definitely won't get back to where we were, but I don't know. I'll give it, actually, I'm not even gonna say a double. So I say we get back to around the 30s if we're lucky. I don't even know if it'll go up, to be honest. If I was honest with myself, I don't expect it to go up. I believe there will be some more dumping on the event. I think there'll be some people that come and get in and test out the range optimization. So let me rephrase that. It can go up, but then within 90 days, again, we'll be back to these levels. Let's just put it at that. So might see some short-term pump, and also the market itself, the macro, could have a change. So I think we'll see a short-term pump, but in 90 days, we'll be back to these levels, contingent on assets like ETH and BNB and all that being around the same levels. Now, if those take a massive pump, then obviously it brings up TVL a little bit. But if the bulk of the assets are still in the bear market and trending in their range, then this doesn't change at all. That answer your question, Reginald? Papa Nugs, I'm just glad I left the farm and went to another that works just well. What's the alpha, Papa? Where's the better farm? Actually, I know there's a lot more better farms out there. This one has, like I said, mechanics are way too complicated and people are printing elsewhere. And that's just proof of concept right there. Peter, I think everyone has a bad taste in their mouth from the entire ecosystem. I know I wouldn't put any serious capital in any new projects, knowing what I know now. Time to move on. I agree. Definitely not new capital. I don't think so at all. Anthony Black, never seen a community so self-destructive. Papa Nugs, Anthony Black. What I've witnessed with drip community is exact repeat of 2 others I've been in. We need to make noobs aware of tribalism. Yeah. Yeah. The crypto culture, tribe, us against them. Yeah, for sure. Any updates on what's next from drip community? Drip 21 is not till January. Everybody's all excited about this, and rightfully so. It sounds cool, but DeFi Crypto Boss said that that's not coming probably till January. And as I mentioned, all you guys, it doesn't matter what the project is. The marketing is what's going to drive the actual product success. So regardless of how awesome a project is and how much of a market gap, this is what you learn in entrepreneurship. You can find market gaps all over the place. You can find disrupting industry opportunities. But if you do not create the marketing and help the customer or client understand the problem and pain you're solving for them, and it's going to be done in a easier, faster manner than it's already being solved somewhere else, because make no mistake, all these problems are already being solved somewhere, then you will have a very hard time. So Drip 21 is great. Some of these other ideas are great, but you have 1, the complexity of crypto in and of itself, 2, the red tape of getting in it, depending on where you're at, 3, the sentiment that the media or whoever is painting around crypto. Then you get a person in, and then you got to get them all the way to wherever your object is and thing is, and it's got to be easier than whatever the current solution is for it. So perfect example, Stake just lost like 23 million or something like that. That's not going to cause people to run away from gambling, nor run away from stake, nor run towards a decentralized solution. It's just par for the course. They'll just chalk it up as a, yep, oh well, that was a loss. But supposedly user funds were safe, so they didn't lose any of the user funds. That was just the team's capital. But that will not be a red mark on gambling in the crypto space. It's not going to change a thing. Nor is it going to make people look for another solution. That's just the way we operate. We are the last to hear what's happening. LTD max. Oh, 300. Thanks. So that's the number 300. Perfect. Let me go back and look at this. Yeah, I forgot what it was. I just draw a blank on screen. Okay. So there is definitely an amount of people that have. Because I think when I did this before, I had at least 100. I'm going to have to go back to my old videos. So there's still 100. All right. So it's still there. Yeah, there's still quite a few people. And actually, maybe it looks like more have snuck in. That's probably interesting as well. With the price the way it is, maybe more made their way in. So we're sitting at 162 people still in the Reap DAO. But this is very interesting. So now every product, okay, I guess this one's not down because from launch it's still up. And probably B-Reap is still up from launch. But Drip is down from launch. Pigs are down from launch. Dogs are down from launch. So Reap and B-Reap, maybe the only ones that are still up in the ecosystem. Very, very interesting. These are the levels back here. So I would not be surprised to see a $10 Reap coming very soon. Very soon. All right, 300. Appreciate you guys putting that out there. False pump, then dump. Yep. That is the nature of our system, unfortunately. That is just the way it goes. And with assets right now, globally where they are, nothing's changing in the macro. There is no sign of hopium. We got to dig ourselves out of this. There is no one coming to save us. 26 for BTC, still not bad. BNB, yeah, still in the low 200s. So yeah, it's going to take a macro event, and that'll probably be timed around the halving. But this is also a narrative, so I want people to at least hear my perspective. I don't think things all magically pump in the bull run. So yes, the halving comes here, and also depending on who you listen to. So I listen to people a lot smarter than me that follow these cycles. So everybody believes, for the most part, that the bull run is coming because of the halving cycle and because it's happened the same way every single time before. Now, I like to listen to contrarian opinions, and Gareth Holloway is one of those. He says it may not be the same. It has been the same always, but his reasoning is that this is the first time this crypto market, since its creation, has ever seen a liquidity crisis. So all of the other halving cycles and the pumps And the actual creation of it was born from stimulus. This is the first time when the printers have been shut off. Now, the printers could get kicked back on. That could, work as well. But let's just assume there is no stimuli coming and there is no Fed money printer back going burr. Does that mean the halving happens? The halving will still happen, but does that mean there's liquidity being injected? Now, of course, with BlackRock and all these ETFs, this stuff. So there are so many unknown unknowns, but you have to look at the other side and wonder, what if there doesn't come a big pump in the market like we've historically seen? Could there be a black swan event? What if? And if that's the case, then that means DRIP and BNB, by extension, may not see a price appreciation. So we all have this, we're going to magically wait until the bull run. And typically, of course, everything is up because that's what we've seen. But you can't just place all your bets on that and hope that it's going to fix itself just because magically there's more money in the system and it'll just happen to magically find its way to the footsteps of DRIP. So I'm on the opposite camp that you got to create your own destiny. Like, that'll be nice, but we need to put the pieces in place so that if that happens, we benefit that much more. And if it doesn't, we're still in good shape. And that's the narrative I want to echo and get people to understand for sure. The reservoir can save DRIP. No one looked at the reservoir. Then we need to get 30 million DRIP out of circulating supply, all DRIP in the vault. It's nothing but exit liquidity for fat assets. The reservoir can help DRIP. I can't say it'll save DRIP because with people still selling, all you end up doing is tying your BNB to a depreciating asset. So yes, it's BNB in, BNB out, but the value of your drops and the amount of money you're making off of that is depreciating. And by itself, it can just add a price floor, but all you're doing is you're asking people to keep throwing money in right now so that these wells can continue to dump. We need something else. I'm not opposed to the reservoir, as I've stated multiple times, but the solutions we're coming up in the DRIP community cannot just be keep dumping money into this. That doesn't work. There's got to be a better way, because the people that they're asking to dump money on it are the ones that are the most wrecked. So there needs to be other solutions. As I mentioned before, if we build together as a collective and use all of the pieces within the community as a collective to even market for that, then you can actually build projects that provide liquidity to go into the reservoir. We don't need to have people keep going in their pockets and feeding the beast for others to dump on us. Create something that has utility. Gambling is fine. I'm not against gambling. The potluck game is great. Drip 21 will be great. All this stuff. Those are fine. That's one niche. But I'm an entrepreneur. I came out to Cambodia to build businesses, and that's what I do out here. So my solutions always lean towards, something that basically I heard from one of my mentors. Create something that someone needs and then make it have the demand that they will always need it and go back and purchase it over and over and over again. Be able to create it or acquire it at a price that is so cheap you can give it away for free. Create additional value on top of it that somebody's willing to pay 100x of that value you create, and then sell it somewhere in between. So if you do that, you have a business that will always continue to run. The prime example is like, water is a commodity that everybody needs. We can't live without it. But how much value does one bottle of water have when there's no more left on Earth? It's infinite, right? If you were in a desert dying and there's only one bottle of water, you would find out, you would try to accumulate whatever amount of money that person needed. But all of a sudden you're in the desert and there's 10,000 bottles of water around you. Well, it doesn't have the same amount of price, value. So scarcity, all these other things create value. And that's what drives a lot of the stuff in products like the one I showed you guys with, I think it was like Burberry, where they were burning clothes because they didn't want to sell them at a discount. So when you can create, and they're probably making them over here in a sweatshop for pennies. So when your brand is Couture and Gucci and Burberry or whatever, and you got a sweatshop in Asia making your stuff, and it's literally like $1, and then you go turn around and sell that bag or shoe or whatever because it's got your name on it for $100,000, and it's still made in the same factory that the cheap $10 bag is made. That's brand, but that's also that ability to be able to mark something up. And then that arbitrage in between those two, or that margin, so to speak, between those two, that's stuff that we built within Drip. Then you can actually have that go back and support Drip in the reservoir, in the buy and burns, in whatever. So that to me is the ultimate solution. And that's kind of what Kryptonite was working towards in the Twitter space yesterday, man. If you guys didn't hear that, that was fire. Shouts out to Moonshot Max. I'm so happy to hear people bring in the heat and finally saying what they really feel, because it's about damn time. That place was on fire. All right, back over to the chats. What do we got? We need a price floor. That's another false narrative, Anthony Black. I used to think the same thing. There is no price floor because Drip will mint infinite Drip to anyone that stakes in the faucet. So since anyone can always create new wallets, there is no price floor because you can always sell at a profit if you're one of those people that got in early and can make more wallets. So they will always continue to dump. And you can see that, and I've shown this to you guys in real time. There's people still selling hundreds of dollars a day in Drip. Let's do a minimum right now for $100 so you guys can see it for yourself. So when people can still do this, like this 2C68, when they can still do this, then there is no price floor because they don't run out of ammo. That's another false narrative that your maxis are trying to tell you, that these people will run out of Drip. They're not running out because they have multiple wallets. Some of these people may be developers from within Drip, from other projects. Who knows? But they can write scripts. And if they got in super early and they were a developer and looked at this and they were able to accumulate a lot of Drip or whatever the case may be, or they're, bad actors like Ray, who created leeching wallets from the team, from the ecosystem, hence why he deleted all his videos, he's running, then they never run out because they're able to get 1% per day on multiple wallets. And then it just keeps going because they're not going to stop and let it die. Why would you when you can still pull $100 a day? So they're just going to continue to leech from the system. So there's no floor in that regard. The only way, I take that back, I lied. There is a price floor, Anthony, if we create enough utility in either other crypto projects, supported projects, collaborations, utility, whatever it is, where there's enough buy volume coming in to supersede this. That's how you create a floor. You need more money coming in than going out. And right now, going out every day, what is it, like $10,000 again, something like that? Where are we at? More volume. Yeah. Still around the $5,000 to $10,000 range. 24-hour volume. So we need to at least 10x that, because these people selling now are still going to be selling when you get a pump. Make no mistake about that. And when you get a pump, that's $7,000. If it's at $1, it's $7,000 coming out versus right now $132. So it's a double-edged sword, but that's the only way to fix this. Once the dumping slows or stops, we shall see. Like we said, there's a price which becomes more expensive in fees. That should at least be our floor. Yeah, there is that price, but the fees come from the compounding. So as I mentioned before, the price floor, the sell floor just comes from, or the using the faucet. I take that back, using the faucet and hydrating every day. So that's where at 0.003, it becomes not worth it to compound daily. And it doesn't make sense to use the faucet. However, caveat to that, I didn't explain in the video, you can still compound once a week, once a month, once every 3 months and sell, right? So you could still use a faucet, let it accumulate, and then every 30 days sell, and you would still be able to pull out a decent amount. Now, at some stage, you aren't able to pull out, theoretically, these tens of thousands every single day, multiple. Drip, that should indeed slow down, but Drip will be at a fraction of a penny before that happens, because there's no solutions coming in. Wow, this person bought half a Max wallet basically for $214. That's the price we pay right now. That is crazy. I didn't look at the numbers again. So basically for $500, you get a Max wallet. It's nuts. Nuts. Anthony Black, facts. Drip has a hole in it. We need a mechanism to lock away those tokens, arbitrage, buybacks, etc. In any case, the tokens that go into a liquidity securing area need to stay there unless the sky falls. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping comes from this idea that was shot out with Kryptonite on the Twitter space. So the solution for me, and I mentioned this multiple times, there's still people in the community that want to build. There's people, and rightfully so, because the hardest thing, if you build a business, the hardest thing is marketing and engagement. So the drip chart may suck, but the hardest part is building a community. And this community right now, they may not be putting their capital here, but we're all still here in DeFi. You know how many people have left the DeFi space? How many people have gotten hits like this in their portfolio and they said, fuck it, I'm out? We can look in drip and see a lot of people left, but that's multiplied across every other asset within the ecosystem, the crypto community. So the fact that we are still here, however any of that we is, but that's enough to build something from, because every single one of us, like it or not, believe it or not, we all do still have risk capital. I'm quite certain of that. We will find the money to get into something else. So the solution to me is simple. Put all these eyeballs together, find out what they're willing to get in, build it for them. Don't make what you think will be the next big thing. Get something that gets the actual energy's input, build it. Not everybody's going to agree, of course, but get a slight majority. And at least the ones that don't agree will say, at least I had a vote in it. You know, I had to say so. My voice was heard. They said they'll put this project on the back burner, but for now we're doing this. So if you do all of that, then that means we will build that. Then that means you'll have the people that say they're willing to support it will step up and support it, and you can grow and build a new project. And then from that, you are basically building a company, whatever this project is, whatever this platform is. And then from those dividends, you allocate, of course, a portion based on community feedback towards the reservoir or towards drip or whatever, as well as towards the people that are building it. Be like, hey, you're getting paid to do this. This is not just sweat equity or whatever. Here's a little something to tide you over, whatever the case may be. And then you grow it. We have all the skills, man. Like, again, I've built businesses out here, and I'm sure many of you are savvy enough as well, work for business, built businesses. There are multiple areas of influence in building a solid business that we literally can outsource for free from within the drip community. When I did my poll, let me pull that up, because that just shows you, and I'm just one channel, man. Like my idea with what I mentioned on crypto with drip to wealth, there's a bunch of people. So if this works out the way that I want and the way that I think we could benefit, then we actually go to all these other content creators and get them to say something about this. And we actually find solutions from the collective. So on this channel, or on this poll, I had how many votes? 247 say yes, they're down to support monetarily or with sweat equity. So 247 out of 75% of 247. And then just 112 here. So just on my channel alone, there's enough people across the areas of building a business. Can you imagine being able to start your startup with 100 people? Like, you can have a very successful startup because here's 40 people here willing to invest some capital. I don't know how much. But then there's another 35, maybe they're the same, of course. I think it only allows you to vote once, but another 35 people willing to idea and brainstorm. We got some devs. We got community engagement. You got admins and stuff. You got the marketing teams. This is me. Now imagine if we got this from Moonshot Max, from S Crypto, from Rock Ape, from Drip to Wealth, from Crypto Professor Girl. If they all went out to their community and said, hey, we're all on the same page, kind of like the Guardians of the Reservoir. Exactly the exact same they did. But again, that was just one solution, one idea, and the community itself didn't get to vote on that. That's the one issue I mentioned to Drip to Wealth, is that everybody has great ideas. There are tons of ideas, but when you make your project and then shame the community for not supporting it because you think it's the solution, that's not the solution. Get the community actually involved in it. Let them have a say so. We're not going to agree. We're not going to all, say the same thing, but you can put a simple vote out here and then go, okay, we have a simple majority or we have a tie. Let's revote and get on these top two. If you still end up with a tie, it's like, okay, as a collective, we have to move forward. You guys know that. Here's what we're going with. If that doesn't work out after XYZ, we will pivot and try this. If you get them involved and get their feedback, it's not hard to rebuild this, man, because the engagement is there. The capital is there. The proof of concept is there. Everything's there. So that is the solution. That's how you actually fix this thing. You get all of the actual content creators, not all, just a slight majority of the content creators on the same page. And you can basically turn this thing around, especially now. Oh my God, especially now in a bear market, building in a bear market, creating something now, and then having it kind of crawl its way into the bull run. Oh my goodness. Because we can be successful as a collective. Just solo dolo, we're going to get wrecked. All right, that was me going on a rant. Let's see, that was from Anthony Black. Appreciate it. Down, people always sell, no floor. Kind of just went over that. We are no better than the U.S. Treasury. We mint the crap the bed, and so I give up. My ideas are. Nah, you can't give up, bro. We're still in it. But yes, we are definitely in the same position. Luckily, we're not at $1 trillion. We got a little ways to go. Ray's still doing the live streams, telling his lies. Yeah, Ray, he's been exposed. There's no logical explanation for him deleting his videos. He did that because he's afraid. I told him he didn't want the smoke. He deleted all his videos in order to avoid being called a liar and deceiver. Oh, of course. And that was just proof. He went after me and he got wrecked. That's why he would never come on stream with me. Don't bring the smoke. That's the one thing I'm going to protect, is my name out here and what I do. People may not like what I say or like the way I walk, but I'm going to show you everything, because at the end of the day, that's what I know. Like what I'm telling you guys that we need to do with Drip, this is what I'm trying to do for myself. I'm pretty much gave up on the fact that I'm getting any money back from Drip as is. But I know for a cold hard fact that if I can build a channel with integrity, a year now, 2 years from now, if and when the bull run comes, I will have some hardcore supporters. And the people that have shit on their community, they will be a dust in the wind. And that will be my bragging right. When I blow past those other people simply for just speaking the truth and exposing the truth. They may not like it. Like, I'm not one to put, candles on a shit sandwich and try to make it in sprinkles and make it taste better than what it is. If it's shit, I'm going to just let you know. And you ain't got to like it, but that's what it is. And I know in the future that that's going to come and do well for me later on, which is why I turned off monetization. So there's something about having values and integrity, I think. Don't quote me on it, but I think there's something there. All right. Hexagon Contractor, what's up? What's good? Glad to catch you live. Glad you could pop in as well. Appreciate that. And on Farm Markets just joined. What up, coach? So where were all those sales, Ray? It's wild. He deleted all his videos. It's time to sell the pig pen link. Yep. You guys, all you on my channel already knew that. Like, this was no surprise with Ray acting this way. Once he got exposed, he couldn't come back from that. People were screaming for his head on a pike in the new community chat, and Lady Mania even is feeling the heat on that, even though she keeps going to bat for him. She didn't want to remove him as an admin, thinks that he's a pillar of the community and all this stuff. But you see it now transparently. There is no logical explanation as to why he deleted his videos. I'm sure he'll make one, and people who are in his squad, quote unquote, they'll believe it, because rightfully so. It's kind of the same way with Forex. People have made money off of Ray. I can't fault them for that. But once you know that money was stolen, rob Peter to pay Paul, and literally from your next door neighbor in your Drip community, if you're okay with that, then good on you. But damn, I've seen that actually on a documentary or something like that, or maybe it was probably more of a comedic skit of someone talking about being in the ghetto, that your neighborhood cokehead steals your stuff and then has the nerve to come back to your house and try to sell it to you. That was Ray. Oh, I think that might have been Chappelle. I don't know. Anyway, I wonder how many people would love to use violence against him in a real life. Oh man, yeah, this crypto space will bring out the worst in people. They would, if they found his ass, it would not be good. I guarantee that. It would be good if Forex hands over the rock to drip over to multi-sig wallet. Then we can actually, man, that would be dope. I believe we can actually convince him to do it. Actually, a part of me believes he would. The bulk of me, maybe that's a little hopium in me, says he won't. So like I'm 90%, 95% certain he won't. But that 5% is like, man, what if? And I think if there was enough people banding together, so you have a collective, all pointing in one direction, and then get all those people to constantly just hit up JJ, the project manager, and all the devs, constantly just send them DMs and shit, bug the hell out of them. Eventually, he would address it. And whatever that address would be, that would at least give you all the validation you need for who Forex is as a character. Because there's two things that'll play out. One, he would ignore the overwhelming sentiment. If we got the bulk of people to, agree with it, he would either ignore it and that will let you know. Or two, he would release the reins. So it's a win-win no matter what. And at the end of the day, we don't need the keys. That would definitely make it easier. But again, we can build real utility, and we can also build projects that the new community itself can benefit from solely. Just like PDrip. I'm not in it, but you can build another Ponzi-nomic DApp. And if everybody in this new collective, they get to be first, and you build in mechanics where it can't be leached, then they'll benefit. And they'll shill it because now they're in it and they were in it at the start, and they're more supportive of it and transparency and trust and honesty because they're like, okay, I saw how this was created. I know the people behind it. They showed the code, all this stuff. It was audited by multiple people in the community. So I'm willing to market it. So it'll take off on its own right if you get, like I'm showing you guys here, all these people on board in one position. So the solution is there. It's just the herding cats that's a little more complicated. Sandy Brady, I would pay $1,000 for a chance to have Ray a few meters from me. Facts. I would make so many people happy as fuck. Yep. I think you'd have to wait in line, bro. That would become, we want to pump drip. We do like an auction. So you pay thousands, highest bidder gets first dibs. There you go. Crypto influencer found dismembered in a suitcase. Y'all remember the headline? Damn. That's crazy. Thank you for opening my eyes on the referral reward exploit to create the drip system. Yeah, I wish I would have known sooner, man. I was drinking the Kool-Aid and telling everybody to, hodl and DCA. So I got to own up and say that I am to blame on that as well. But part of learning is developing and coming to grips with new ideas, right? And then when those ideas bang against your preconceived notions, and if they are true, the new ideas, then you own up to them and dismiss the old ideas. So yeah, my eyes are open as well. Sad it took this long. I'm still with the DC, and Ray don't want to fight you online or physically. Nah, he don't want the smoke. At least now I know who the enemy is. Yep, we all do. Yep, we're rocking with you, coach. Appreciate that. Tracing the wallets back to Raymond would be near impossible. His wallets are so diluted, you would need a bot to find them all. Yeah. Dripnetwork.ca was definitely very helpful, but that sucks. Now that's even down. But there are definitely tools out there. We could build that in the community. So if we build a new project, we could easily have some of these devs that know how to do this go and basically go through the chain and expose all of this on Ray, and even blacklist him from getting into a new project. It's actually, the blockchain is out there, so you can always connect the dots. There's ways you can try to wash things or whatever, but at the end of the day, eventually those dots do connect. So that could be a solution as well. Ray likes small Forex parts. His nose sewn on Forex's ass. Forex is live on Animal Farm BC, now spouting his BS probably. Yeah, I'll go back and listen to that when I go on my walk this morning. I still keep an ear to the streets because, like it or not, like I said, so Forex definitely has room for improvement in his character traits. But the one thing we can say is there's attention to detail and there is security at the forefront. So that being said, here's how I would actually play this game. So we can't get the key. Let's say we can't get the keys. I'm gonna let you guys know my secret of what I would do. If I can't get the keys to Drip, I was in charge of, let's just pretend, this community project. It's like, okay, I would have them create this project and we would make it so profitable that we could come over here and park our blue chips. This project would buy blue chips. So we'd buy RAP BNB, ETH, BUSD, Cake, all the blue chips. We'd buy them. And then what we would do, we park them here on the farm. Why? Because I know it's going to print and I know how it works and I know it will be secure. Then I would dump the hell out of dogs and pigs and send it back to Drip. I don't care about the tax. I don't care about any of that. I would just print and dump. It doesn't matter. That would be how I would fix the problem. I would basically be using the animal farm to send liquidity back to Drip. That's it. And yeah, there's taxes and all that stuff. But if you're printing at a high clip, and the token is already down in the dumps as is, then that's how I would plug the hole. Because the hole was created from Drip going to Manor Farm and then creating Animal Farm. People took all those hundreds of millions of dollars from Drip, billions in TVL total, and brought it over to the farm, and now it's gone. So rightfully, in my opinion, it needs to come back. And I would do it at the expense of dogs and pigs, and not trying to put pigs into the pig pen, because that is a waste of money and time, as I showed you guys. It's not here now. 0.002 per pig. Come on. It's ridiculous. Now, Forex goes back and starts injecting into the pig pen, then of course, 100%. But that would be my solution. What up, Matt? Hey, this guy. Your channel will be huge in a few years. The truth always rises to the top. That's what they say. Cream rises to the top. So that's why I'm riding it out, man. That's what people are like. You should find new content. It's like, why? I built this community off of Drip. I got no problems with Drip. The contract works. The problem is the people. I got no beef with the person who created the steak knife. But the person that stabbed their spouse or killed their kids with a steak knife, that's got a problem with them, right? So there's nothing wrong with Drip. Even the referral system, it sucks. Love to have it changed now, but I showed you guys. I showed you the facts. The bulk of the OGs didn't do what Ray did. So even the referral system, the bulk of people have integrity. The bulk of people in the world, actually try to do good. It's just the small handful of evil that's out there. That's what always creates these extremes where you got to have rules and stuff like that, because there are people that will just take advantage no matter what. But if you let the vigilante justice take over, then we can have a system that works. And the best way to do it is just get transparency and follow the wallets and stuff like that, man, and report on it. Then the rest will take care of itself. It's funny, here in Cambodia, like, you don't have near the violence and stuff that you have to worry about in the US. So like, I've seen the videos of people like looting the stores and all that stuff. The people here sell their goods right on the street, drive up and down the street, all this stuff. And nobody drives by and steals it or anything like that. You occasionally have someone that will try to snatch a bag off a moto, but the Cambodians in their culture have this vigilante street justice. So what'll happen if someone steals from another Cambodian? You will hear them start screaming, "Jow, jow, jow." That's basically Khmer for thief. And they will send that shout down the streets. And what happens is people will block the road while this guy is trying to escape. And they will beat the living shit out of him, get the bag back, and then go back on their merry way. Just leave him beaten in the streets. You can see the videos in Facebook groups in Cambodia. So you don't have to worry about people taking advantage of one another. They don't have to lock their doors and do all this crazy stuff, because the community creates the culture and takes care of one another. So that's what DeFi is meant to do. It's meant to be this transparent ledger, and you see what's going on and you hold this person accountable. And then the rest of the community says, yo, we ain't playing with you. Here's what we're going to do. We can't, drag them in the streets like they do here in Cambodia, but you definitely can blacklist wallets. You can get on their channels and shut them down like they did support DeFi. What's his name? Brandon, DeFi guide now. They got his channel shut down. So the solution is in the hands of the masses, man. It's just a matter of pointing that energy in one spot. Now, what they did to Brandon, that was uncalled for, but that just goes to show you how quickly things can change. So that was a rant about Cambodia. if I ever catch one of these on video, I'll be sure to share it with you guys. Maybe I can find one and put it in one of my shorts. Yeah, street justice. Let's see. Forex. Let's see. What do we got? Channel Forex may be convinced if he remains as one of the people on the multi-sig. Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to that. Definitely leave him there, you know. But the other people on the multi-sig need to be 100% voted on by the community. And there can't be an overwhelming majority from one side or the other. So you couldn't have Forex and, let's say, JJ and whoever else is behind the doors. You can't have a bunch of them and then like only 2 people from the community, because you won't get anything done. In the same way, you can't have 12 people from the community and just one Forex, because again, he does look out for security and things of that nature, right? So I don't knock the positive traits that he has. It's just there's an overwhelming bunch of bad ones that need to be fixed. If the pig pen is a flop after B3 launch, I'm going BNB long and not fucking with Forex projects. I've been handed L after L, but new drip though. Yes, please. Yeah, that's the degens in us, man. We won't quit. That's why I'm saying if we can get the community in one direction, we can fix this thing, man. It's not that bad. I'm down 40 grand or whatever, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to what we could build as a collective, man, for sure. Much respect, coach. Ray is a snake. Facts. There is serious injustice with the current administration in the U.S. Facts. Danny Brady, his only weapon is the ban button. Yep. If you took that away, Ray would have no power whatsoever. U.S. has always been wonky. It's just out in the open now. Yeah, I agree with you, Papa Nug. That's why I left. It's just getting transparent. That's all it is. Cambodia street justice system makes me smile. It's completely justified, and that's how it should be everywhere. I agree. And the good thing is they don't take it too far. Like they're down. This person's not, dead in the streets, but he questions his life choices. Let's put it that way. He won't be doing that again. And it spreads. So that's why you only see this like rarely. Now they will snatch a bag from a foreigner. They will do that. Because we're the outsider, we're ignorant, we don't know any better. But if you know Khmer, speak Khmer, and you can rally the cry, you'll get your bag back. They don't care. Yeah, it's all about the culture, man. Each one reach one, each one teach one. One day there will be no ban button on the ruthless karma that will come upon him. All those Cambodians will F you up. I've seen the vids. They even use cars if one's available. Oh yeah, man. Like, yeah, for sure. But that being said though, man, like I'm extremely safe here. Like I've had no issues. Even prior to the C word that thou shalt not speak of, like Voldemort, people used to travel down here, especially from Europe. It was called the backpacker effect. They would come in from Europe and they'd hit Thailand, the party place. Then they would come over to Cambodia and then exit through Vietnam. So they hit these 3. And there are women, single women, that travel from Europe all the way through here by themselves, go to bars, go to clubs, do all the typical, young person stuff. And there was no threat, not worried about, the what ifs. You ask a woman in the US, would she do some of that late at night and stuff and travel by herself? Hell nah. They won't even travel in their own country and do that. Nonetheless, outside the country, and nonetheless outside a country to a place you don't speak the language. Like, think about those barriers. That's how, 1, different the culture is in Europe. 2, how safe they must feel to travel all the way through Southeast Asia. And of course, I'm not saying it's completely safe. There are issues, don't get me wrong. But for the most part, man, it's just a very different culture. Very different. Let's see. Danny Brady, his health will pay for all his selfishness and falsehood. Facts. He will spend everything on medicines. Yep. So we are coming to the end of the stream, man. This was fun. Enjoy it when you guys jump in and engage. Yeah, we'll see what happens with this. So keep an eye out. So I will be having some kind of wrap up. I think Drip to Wealth probably sent me some message or something like that. We talked yesterday. So there is a push. Keep an eye out. I'm showing you guys there is energy here, and this is just me. There is people looking to build, and I would love for any of you guys that are interested in it. I'm not saying everybody's got to put up some sweat equity or whatever, but let's do this as a collective and fix this. If it means fixing Drip, let's do that. If the collective says they're all done with Drip, then we do that. If we can find a happy middle ground where it's like, yeah, I'm done, but 5% to the reservoir, 10% to the reservoir, 1% for this project, whatever, then let's do that as well. But it has to come from the community. So that is the solution for me. And as far as I'm aware, it's being moved forward, and I will share the updates definitely on my channel to try and get you guys in those collective chats on how we will move forward with that, because there's too much energy here, too much talent to let this go to waste right now in the bear market. We are all learning some valuable lessons in life and about crypto. And if we can point that together as an actual DAO, man, oh man, the shit we could build, I am confident that we will all succeed. 100%. There's no way we cannot not win, because too many smart people and too many people learn lessons, and the actual collective energy to market is there. And if we put that all together rather than scattershotting everybody going in their own different projects, it's a guaranteed win for everyone. We may not become millionaires overnight, but at least whatever we build as a collective is going to be there for the long term. And if there's an issue, we will pivot as a collective, and you're going to make some money off of it, because everybody's going to be looking at growing the pie rather than how can I get a bigger slice, get bigger pieces of the same slice. All right. That's all I got. Yeah, that's all I want to say. I keep going back and saying the same thing, but you guys know that's what I'm trying to get to. Collective energy, man. Whoever's left. Not everybody, but the warriors. Way safer in the areas, 2A, honored, and actually protected. Yeah. Appreciate it. All right. We are going to exit on that note. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the support. And thanks for keeping it 100. That's the end of the street.